Well, hello all my friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is T and this is my YouTube channel, Crumpets Tea and Sewing. I also go by that handle over on Instagram. You can find the link to my Instagram in the description box below. You could go over and check me out. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all my last Sewing Makes Roundup video, which is, I believe this is part 5. And this will include all the cardigans, the jackets, the coats, and all that good stuff that I have made. So the outerwear. And I am excited to share with you these makes. So this video should be relatively quick because I only have 5 patterns that I have used for these makes. So the first is the McCall's M8247. So you guys will probably be familiar with this, especially if you have been tuning in week after week for the last couple months, because I just made this pattern and I also did a pattern review of it. I'll put the links to all the pattern reviews in the description box below, just in case you didn't see the pattern review videos. You could go over and check out those videos. So for the McCall's M8247, I made 2 versions for this, and I also made a mock-up which ended up being a wearable muslin. So it's really nice and soft. It's a blue fleece type fabric, so I'm really excited about that one. And then I made the floral print one, and then I also made a leopard print. So I'm really excited about this particular make, and fortunately I didn't have any fails with this pattern, so I'm really happy about that. I also made the Simplicity 8265, and this was, I believe, is view A, and I also did a sew along or sewing tutorial for this, and I'll make sure that I put that link in the description box below just in case you want to follow the tutorial for that. And this I made with a houndstooth wool fabric, so I think it's like 57% polyester and then also some wool in there as well. So it's a wool blend, and I purchased this fabric from Joann's, from my local Joann's. It's a really nice fabric. I did have to line it, as you can imagine. With wools, they are very dense, and then also they aren't very comfortable against the skin, so I had to line it. And overall, I really do like the pattern, and I like the jacket that I was able to make with it. However, in the future, I would definitely put pockets in my garment. The pattern does come with pockets. For some reason, I decided that I wasn't going to make the pockets that go with this one. I think, I said that I wasn't going to do the pockets because I was so focused on getting the houndstooth to line up on the side, because this fabric, even though it's a houndstooth, and most houndstooth prints you can get away with not having to do any matching, but I had some red lines going throughout this houndstooth fabric, and so I really had to make sure that I paid particular attention to that, and I didn't add pockets on the side. And so I was really bummed by that after I started wearing it, and I noticed how much I missed those pockets. So I think that's what I would like to do. I want to make another version of this, but I definitely want to make one with pockets. I also made the Dionne Duster. So this is a pattern that I made for Black History Month, and this pattern is by Sew Altered Style, and I really love the sweater that I was able to get out of this Dionne Duster. I made it with this black and cream Hakchi, I think it's called, a Hakchi fabric, and it is just so comfortable to wear. I wear this so much. I think this is probably my most worn cardigan, and I really enjoy wearing it. I really like lounging in the house with it. It's just such a really warm and nice cardigan. I really love it. And then I also made the Sable boyfriend cardigan. I made 2 versions of those. I made this pattern is by Style Art Patterns, and I made, like I said, 2 versions. One is with a cable knit fabric that I purchased from Joann Fabrics. It's a polyester fabric. It's navy blue. It's really nice. I love those thick cable knits going through the cables going throughout the fabric, and the underside of the fabric is very smooth, and so you don't even have to line it. So it's a really nice cardigan, but it's not warm like when you think of a cardigan or, you know, something like that, or a button up top that is supposed to be like a cardigan, you think of comfort, right? You think of those really nice terry knit fabrics. This isn't that type of fabric. It's very smooth on the inside. And I have found that if I leave it in my car or anything like that in the wintertime, and if I go to grab it to go into a store, it's going to be cold because it's just not, it doesn't have that same warmth as the fleece does. So anyway, it's nice, but it doesn't provide any warmth. The second version that I made, I did some color blocking. And so I had another cable knit fabric, and it's from the same collection, and this one is the lighter blue. And so I decided to go ahead and play with it because I found, I think it was a little less than a yard of fabric that was in the remnant section. And so I decided to go ahead and purchase that remnant. I think the remnant was like, I don't know, $2 or $3. And so it wasn't very expensive at all. And so I decided to do some color blocking. I really like how I designed this jacket, and so it's really nice. I did have some trouble with the sizing of the boyfriend cardigan, the pattern, and I think I chose like a size 10, which was the lowest size that they have offered, and it just was not working for me. I had to size it down quite a bit. This is a very loose fitting, oversized style. I didn't really want to give the pattern like a bad reputation, and so that's one of the reasons why I didn't do a pattern review of it. But to be honest with you, I just did not like the outcome of these two cardigans. Even though they're very comfortable to wear, I really like wearing them around the house. I actually grab them quite often. I just don't like the really big drop shoulder, and I had to do a lot of adjustments. And if memory can serve me, I think my drop shoulder was like almost to my elbow before I actually made those adjustments. And so anyway, the finished result is very nice and beautiful, but the pattern, I had to make too many adjustments, and so I probably won't be making that pattern again. I also made the Butterick B6330. This was part of the Sew Wardrobe series that Crystal and I did in the earlier part of the year in 2020. And so this pattern is a wardrobe pattern, and Crystal, she did, I can't remember the actual view, but she made the dress. And so you can go over to her channel and you can actually see the sew along for the dress. And then I actually did a sew along for the jacket. And so I made two jackets with this Butterick B6330. It's a really fun pattern to sew. However, the sleeves, I just had issues with the sleeve pattern. And there was a lot of twisting on the sleeve, and I couldn't figure out why it was doing a lot of twisting. And so because I couldn't figure it out, I just, even though I did the sew along for it and I made two jackets for it, I just didn't like the end result of the sleeve. Everything else fit pretty well. At least it didn't look right on my frame. On my daughter, I gifted those two to her, and it looks beautiful on her frame. So I think it has something to do with because I have a bigger bicep area, that twisting and that pulling is it has something to do with that, because it doesn't do that on her frame, but it does it on my frame. And so there are some adjustments that I really need to do on that sleeve pattern in order to get it the way that I want. However, it is a great sew. It sews up really nice and quickly. And yeah, so if you want to see the sew along for that, I'll make sure that I put that in the description box below as well. So those are all the jackets, cardigans, and, you know, coats, things like that that I have made in 2020. I'm looking forward this year to making a few more items in that category. Where I live at, we don't really get a long winter at all. It's like maybe a month. And so we rarely need coats, like heavy coats, like the wool coat that I made. I wore that coat maybe twice this year, 2 or 3 times. Actually, I made it so in 2020, I wore it about 3 times when I made it, about 3 or 4 times after I made it. And then this year so far, I worn it about 2 or 3 times. And now it's getting to where I'm wearing the boyfriend cardigans. I'm wearing the Sable cardigan because I don't really need that heavy wool coat. So although I have this craving to sew a lot with some of the wools that I purchased last year, I just don't have a need for it because in the weather that we are in, I just don't have a need for it. But I will be making more sweaters, more jackets and things like that. So hopefully you'll see some of those come on the channel pretty soon. So that does it for today's video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't had a chance yet to see all of the different garments that I've made in 2021, I created a playlist and I'll put the iCard here and then also in the description box below, and you could go ahead and check out all of the things that I have made in 2021. And if you have any questions or comments about today's video, please make sure that you comment below this video. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to like this video if you found it enjoyable. And I hope you all have a blessed and happy sewing day. And until next time, stay creative. Bye.